I have a breaking news story that you guys are going to want to hear. Donald Trump repeatedly used N-word, says his own nephew. Fred C. Trump III reportedly details his uncle's shocking outburst in forthcoming memoir. And this comes at a time when Republicans have really ramped up the racist and sexist attacks against VP Harris. They're having trouble finding their footing. They don't quite know how to attack her without just going back to Biden's age, so they resort to what they know best, racism. I want to break down this article, but first, Trump begins attacking Kamala Harris's racial identity. Trump couldn't resist using a racist meme. Trump shared a racist meme circulating online criticizing Kamala Harris's racial identity. Harris is born to Jamaican and Indian immigrant parents. He posted, "California's Kamala Harris becomes first Indian American U.S. Senator." It says 2016, and then in 2020, Biden picks Kamala Harris as running mate first black woman. So Trump is trying to say these are contradictory headlines and that either Kamala is lying or that the media is lying, but that is not quite how it works. Trump's meme on Truth Social shared headlines praising Harris for being the first Indian American U.S. Senator in 2016 and for being the first black woman on a major party ticket in 2020. These are both true things. The meme is intended to point out some perceived discrepancy or hypocrisy in Harris's identity. Here's Donald Trump hugging the racist Laura Loomer at the RNC convention. This racist meme attacking Harris has been around since 2020 and was recently resurfaced by Trump ally Laura Loomer. Loomer recently reposted the picture along with the caption, "Just a reminder that Kamala Harris isn't black. She's Indian American. She pretends to be black as a part of the delusional Democrat DEI quota." The word DEI, the phrase DEI has lost all meaning after Republicans have thrown it around so carelessly. Honestly, it is now just a stand-in for the N-word. I'm sorry, but it is. This fact check says, this is false. Harris's father is a black Jamaican American. That makes her both black and Indian. And Laura Loomer has shared some absolutely disgusting stuff about Kamala in the past few days. She's spread rumors about Kamala getting an abortion. She's made disgusting racial remarks that I won't even repeat. Multiracial folks often don't fit into one category only. Trump's attack attempts to diminish Harris's achievements while being both of Indian American and black heritage. These attacks from Trump and his MAGA base are also ignorant of history and how it impacts the present. As the community note alludes to, Jamaica was populated with enslaved people brought from Africa by the British in the 18th century. CBS News has recently reported on the uptick of these attacks leading up to Kamala Harris's rise to become the Democratic nominee. As I was saying, they are constantly calling her a DEI candidate, which doesn't even make sense. CBS News noted that during a radio interview in 2019, Harris commented on those attacking her racial identity are trying to, quote, sow hate and division among us, and stated, quote, "I'm black and I'm proud of being black. I was born black. I will die black, and I'm not going to make excuses for anybody because they don't understand." Very well said. Trump's attack is an ugly, racist one, and now that he's signaled to his MAGA base that racist attacks against his opponent aren't off limits, we can expect them to continue because Donald Trump has shown a pattern of being racist over the years. Let's dig into the big article here. Donald Trump repeatedly used the N-word in response to his car being damaged in the early 1970s. His nephew has revealed to write in a new memoir. I absolutely believe it. Donald Trump was relatively young back then, and we have reports that he said it into his old age, even as recently as the early 2000s. Fred Trump III recounts the incident at his grandparents' house in Queens in his book, All in the Family, The Trumps and How We Got This Way, according to The Guardian. Quote, "N-words," I recall him saying disgustedly. "Look at what blank did." Fred reportedly quotes his uncle as saying. Trump III writes that the episode took place when his uncle arrived at the house on what was an otherwise, quote, normal afternoon for preteen me, according to the report. Quote, "Donald was pissed," he writes, according to The Guardian. Boy, was he pissed. I will point out that there's a scene in Goodfellas exactly like this, but on a more serious note, the former president's nephew says his uncle showed him his, quote, Codalin with the Cadillac Eldorado convertible, which had one, quote, giant gash at least 2 feet long in its retractable canvas roof, which also had, quote, another shorter gash next to it. Leave a like on the video if you have no doubt that Donald Trump said these things. Trump III then describes the future president's alleged use of the racial slur. The Republican nominee's nephew says he, quote, knew that was a bad word. He also claims that his older relative hadn't actually seen who had caused the damage to his car, instead simply seeing the gashes and going, quote, straight to the place where people's minds sometimes go when they face a fresh affront, across the racial divide. And I just want to note that it doesn't seem that Trump has been able to successfully shed his preconceived notions, his racism that he has deeply embedded. Listen, if somebody in the 1970s were racist in some way, but they have reformed themselves, they've turned into a better person. For example, I think President Biden said some stuff on the record in the 60s that could be deemed racist, but we know for a fact that heading into the 90s, into the 2000s, into the 2010s, that President Biden has been incredibly inclusive and regrets anything he said back in the day. Hell, he was the VP to Barack Obama, so people can change, but to bring my point home, not Donald Trump. Donald Trump has not changed. He repeatedly used this racist rhetoric. He repeatedly took racist actions, such as calling for the Central Park Five to be executed after they were exonerated. He took out a full page in the newspaper. Trump III, a commercial real estate businessman, also reportedly asks outright in the book, quote, was Donald a racist? He writes that his uncle used the N-word at a time when, quote, people said all kinds of crude, thoughtless, prejudiced things, adding that perhaps everyone in Queens was a racist then, according to The Guardian. Quote, this is completely fabricated and total fake news in the highest order, Trump campaign spokesperson Stephen Chung told the Daily Beast in a statement. Every time I say the name Stephen Chung in a report, it's because he's denying some heinous accusation against Donald Trump, and he's always saying this is total fake news, and it's some story that almost is always true. Quote, it is appalling. A lie so blatantly disgusting can be printed in media. Anyone who knows President Trump knows he would never use such language, and false stories like this have been thoroughly debunked, but many people that have worked closely with Donald Trump have said that he said stuff like that. Many people that worked closely with Donald Trump during his presidency just a few years back have reported that Donald Trump has said heinous things about veterans, heinous things about certain groups, so I absolutely would not put it past the Donald Trump of 50 years ago. And again, we shouldn't always hold people to what they said 50 years ago because people can change, but the whole point of this is that Donald Trump has not changed and is repeatedly proven so. Donald Trump has previously denied claims he'd used the N-word, though allegations have continued to emerge. In May, a former producer of The Apprentice claimed Trump used the slur while referring to a black finalist in the first season of the show, and apparently it is on tape somewhere out there. But overall, I believe Trump's nephew. I don't doubt what he's saying whatsoever. Remember, Donald Trump's claim to fame in politics was launching this national racist campaign against President Obama, trying to say that Obama wasn't even born in America. That is, by definition, inherently a racist conspiracy theory, and Donald Trump realized that the attention he gets from that is great, so he further doubled down on the conspiracy theorists, on the whining, and that is how we got to where we are today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment a blue heart, hit that subscribe button, go join the Mockler subreddit, the Mockler Discord, the links are in the description below. We are building a great community heading into selection where we do research, we share memes, we have breaking news updates. It's all great. Most importantly, have a great day, and I'll see you next time.